for our 2023 10th and 11th grade, our senior high awards program. My name is Joe Theobald, and I'm the principal, and we are very excited to be celebrating our students. We appreciate all you family members that came. Our sophomores and juniors will be here at 6 o'clock, which is why we are beginning. But then we are going to celebrate our seniors at 7:30, and I welcome everyone to stay. It's a really great event for our seniors, so if you're interested in staying and kind of seeing some of the amazing things that our seniors have accomplished, we welcome you to do the same thing there. At this time, as we do whenever we start anything, I would ask you to please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and you may be seated. It has been a wonderful year. We've seen some amazing accomplishments, and some of those you will hear about tonight, and I can't wait to get on with that. But before we do begin, I'd like to introduce some very special guests. So first we have, up here in the front, we have Miss Thornton, our assistant principal, and Miss Williams, our soon-to-be assistant principal. We have our two school counselors. We have Miss Bucco and Miss Hodges. We have Miss Bennett. Miss DeHart was not able to be here tonight, but we have Miss Bennett. And we also have from the district college career technical office, Miss Renee Huff is with us tonight. Thank you. And of course, we would not be here if it weren't for some other very special guests, which include our teachers. So teachers, at this time, if you would please rise and just let everybody know that you're here and give them a little wave. And I have truly never worked, in 23 years, never worked with a more talented faculty and staff, and I really say that with all sincerity and all honesty. I am not blowing smoke. They are amazing. They amaze me each and every day, and it's an inspiration to work with them. We also have representation from the school district. I see our assistant superintendent has come in. Ms. Laura Francis here. And we appreciate all the support that they give us, and we appreciate you being here, Ms. France. So if you have not been to one of our awards programs, the way we do it is that we recognize our students for their top performance in specific courses, and then some of the accomplishments that they have achieved this year. Our students will, hopefully they're all sitting over here. Students, if you're not all sitting over here, we'd need you to move over here. But as their name is called, they'll come up to the stage, receive their trophy or their plaque, and then they'll exit the stage this way. We will be taking pictures, or we'll at least pause long enough to get some pictures taken, and I believe we are live streaming this currently, and it will definitely be on our YouTube page, so you'll be able to share it with your family members or go back and watch, and hopefully watch no bloopers from me. So that's kind of just the running order for the evening. Once again, thank you for being here, and this is going to be a good night all the way through to the end, and I'm excited to get to it. So we're just going to go ahead and start with our top general papers. Mr. Bergen taught this class. This is a lot of times the first Cambridge course that students jump through, and he nominated his top two students, so we'll have them come up at this time, Caleb Dyer and Lillian Howe. Mr. Bergen writes, Caleb is such a smart and considerate student. He values learning and is a conscientious writer. About Lillian, he says, Lily works so hard to always put forth the best version of herself. She is kind, trustworthy, and dedicated in everything she does. Ladies and gentlemen, Caleb Dyer and Lillian Howe. Our top English language award goes to, well, first let me explain. Usually Lang is an 11th grade course, but this year we put it in 10th grade to see if the students would rise to the challenge, and they most certainly did. So for the first time in school history, we have an English language award for 10th graders, and these two students are Tilden Gill and Brianna Weber. Mr. Belcher writes, both of these students were exceptional this year, both as students and as human beings. And I want to point out that it was fascinating watching our sophomores and juniors take a course together and not really be able to tell who was who. And these two students represent that sophomore class very well in this. So ladies and gentlemen, Tilden Gill and Brianna Weber. Our top math award recipient from Miss Wilson's class is Jordan McCullough. Jordan, come on up. Miss Wilson writes, Jordan is a pleasure to have in class. She takes full responsibility for her learning. She constantly asks questions to further her understanding. If she misses a day of learning, she immediately is asking when she is able to recover the material that she missed. Jordan intrinsically seeks to understand the math concepts and is always willing to help with a peer. Jordan consistently works with quality, integrity, respect, and mutual accountability. Thank you, Jordan, for all of your hard work. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan McCullough. Mr. Weeks has two top social studies award winners, and they are Gavin Miles and Audrey Redmond. Mr. Weeks writes, Gavin, I can honestly say that Gavin is one of the best history students I've had the privilege of teaching over the years. Gavin has a natural interest in world events. He's hardworking and easy to talk to. Gavin brings a wealth of background knowledge to the class and always seems happy to learn new things. I'm very impressed with his enthusiasm for the social sciences and have nothing but high hopes for him in the future. And about Audrey, he writes, I've known Audrey for a long time, and I always assumed that she was intelligent. I was right. But that's not all of why I am giving her this award. Audrey, though quiet and reserved, always participates in class discussions and activities. She's not afraid to answer hard questions. She's reliable and works hard at all she does. I see in her all the things it means to be a knight. I'm glad to finally have her as a student, and I'm excited to see what her future holds. Ladies and gentlemen, Gavin Miles and Audrey Redmond. Our top science award from Mr. Brown goes to Lillian Filer. Mr. Brown writes, Lillian's work in environmental management has been outstanding this year, and he looks forward to seeing all the wonderful things that she accomplishes. Ladies and gentlemen, Lillian Filer. Each year, the teachers get together on their grade level and promote someone or two students who kind of exemplify character traits at our school. Those character traits are quality, integrity, and respect, and we always hold each other mutually accountable. Our winners for the 10th grade this year are Shane Baird and Gianna Stegall. Their teachers, right? Shane is a good fellow. He has an easygoing personality and is always friendly and respectful to his peers and teachers. Shane is a consistent student and works hard to demonstrate what it means to be a knight. And about Gianna, they write, Gianna truly exhibits what it means to be a knight. She works hard and treats her peers and teachers with kindness and respect. The 10th grade team agreed that she deserves the Knight's Character Award, and it has been a pleasure to have her in our classes this year. Ladies and gentlemen, Shane Baird and Gianna Stegall. Our Principal's Award winner, each year I get to give out an award for just a student who stands out, and our Principal's Award winner this year is William Hudspeth. So the Principal's Award is for a student who just kind of catches my eye for special attributes. And the thing about Big Will is that he is always focused on getting the job done, both in the classroom and certainly in the band hall, and also just in getting where he's going. He reminds me of myself in that he's got his head down and he's moving and he's going places and taking care of business. He's a kind person, and he just strikes me as one of those students that definitely needs to be represented here on this stage. So ladies and gentlemen, Principal's Award goes to William Hudspeth. Congratulations. At this time, we have our A-B Honor Roll students from the 10th grade. So I'm going to ask the following students to come up. If you would hold your applause until they come up. There are quite a few of them. First, we have Dejanay Appling, Abigail Basil, Shane Baird, Alex Bryan, Gianna Constantino, Brandon Day, Lucas De Vergara, Lillian Filer, Natalie France, Tilden Gill, Caleb Hobbs, William Hudspeth, Acadia Johnson Burns, Kaylee Ligiardo, Gavin Miles, Kiera Nix, Colton Palmer, Ansley Perkins, Grayson Funter, Audrey Redmond, Gianna Stegall, and Avril Wilson. So something to keep in mind is that these students last year took AP Human Geography as their first college credit course, but this year they had an absolutely packed full ACE schedule, and so to keep an AB average during that difficult time is definitely something to be celebrated. So ladies and gentlemen, your AB honor roll. Y'all can go sit down. Now, as difficult as it is to keep A's and B's, to be on the all-A honor roll is extremely, extremely difficult. So these students kept all A's despite the fact that they were taking a majority of college courses, and they did a great job in the classroom, and we should certainly celebrate them. And these students are Rebecca Fang, Taylor Hayden, Caleb Jenkins, Samantha Olmstead, and Brianna Weber. Please come to the stage. All right, one more round of applause for our straight A students. All right, y'all can go. You good? You're good. Each year, Ms. Davis gives out some interesting art awards. And so this year, the first art award goes to Jocelyn Jurasek. And the name of this art award is the Mighty Morphin Art Award. Ms. Davis writes, Jocelyn has only been in art a few short years and has shown enormous potential. Jocelyn is polite, respectful, and more than willing to grow and improve. Her art has also morphed into greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mighty Morphin Award goes to Jocelyn Jurasek. And Ms. Davis's Kusama Award goes to Brianna Weber. Ms. Davis writes, Brianna Weber is receiving the Kusama Award after the Japanese artist Yayoi Kusama. Similar to Kusama's work, Brianna has spent half the year using patterns and relating that to cultural use. She has a bright future in every subject, and I've enjoyed her insightful comments all these years. Ladies and gentlemen, Brianna Weber. Our top AP Computer Science Principals Award from Mr. Cantrell's class goes to William Hudspeth. Mr. Cantrell writes, William has a mind for programming. He is innovative, creative, and can solve problems swiftly and quickly. He is always on top of any assignment given, helps out his peers, and does amazing work. Ladies and gentlemen, top AP Computer Science Principals Award, William Hudspeth. The top Aeronautical Science Award for the Embry-Riddle courses is given by Colonel Lewandowski, and this year's winner is Noah Perdue. Colonel Ski writes, Noah is an outstanding aerospace student. He is attentive in class, studies the material on his own time, and regularly participates in class with insightful comments. Our top Aeronautical Science Award winner is Noah Perdue. And Colonel Ski, I think, gave you a drone. Just don't fly it inside, please. Our top Aerospace 2 award for Aeronautics 3, Dr. Neal's class, we have two of those recipients, and they are Caleb Hobbs and Mackenzie Donnelly. Dr. Neal also gives away things we don't fly inside. And Dr. Neal writes, it has been my pleasure to have Caleb and Mackenzie in aerospace this year. They both have bright futures, especially if they decide to continue in an aerospace career. Ladies and gentlemen, your top Aerospace 2, Aeronautics 3 award winners, Caleb Hobbs and Mackenzie Donnelly. Our top marching or symphonic band awards go to William Hudspeth and Samantha Olmstead. Mr. Dew writes, Will has been a solid performer and leader by example all year. He runs the brass sectionals during Power Hour, and the section has made huge strides under his leadership. He will continue in his leadership role next year. Sammy has been most impressive this year. She was appointed woodwind section leader during marching season and has continued to lead the section throughout the year. The woodwinds have flourished with her at the helm. She stepped into a difficult position and has grown musically because of it. She will be drum major for the marching knights next year. Ladies and gentlemen, William Hudspeth and Samantha Olmstead. Miss Rogers has some top Animal Science 3 award winners, and they are Jamonte Ware and Cynthia Oldacre. Ms. Rogers writes, Jamonte is an excellent student in ag class. He comes in with a great attitude and a smile every day. He is always willing to lend a helping hand with any classmate and has helped to build a tight third period family. He is very hardworking and dedicated, and I have really enjoyed having him in my classroom. She writes, Cynthia has really stepped out of her shell this year. She has absorbed the information in class and is able to apply it to real life scenarios. She has a true path for leadership and public speaking, and I am beyond proud of her. Ladies and gentlemen, from Animal Science 3, Jamonte Ware and Cynthia Oldacre. Our top drama awards from Miss Dollar's class go to Lucas Bergen and Taylor Hayden. Miss Dollar writes, Lucas, I am so glad you chose to take drama this year. You have the ability to bring out the best in others. I am so appreciative of your talent, from being an old friend in one skit to an argumentative twin brother in another skit. There is nothing you cannot do. You are amazing. And about Taylor, she writes, Taylor, you are such a talented student, and I am so glad you took on a major role in our most recent play. You have shown me, as well as your peers, what hard work and determination looks like and how to be successful. I look forward to many more plays with you. Ladies and gentlemen, Lucas Bergen and Taylor Hayden. From Ms. Bose's AS Level Classical Studies class, we have Caleb Akins, Brianna Weber, and Isabella Chapman. Please turn off your ringers. Ms. Bose writes, these students were excellent all year as they studied about classical culture and history. Ladies and gentlemen, Caleb Akins, Brianna Weber, and Isabel Chapman. For our ACE Psychology course from Ms. Weaver's class, we have Avril Wilson. Miss Weaver writes, Avril is a bright, thoughtful, and highly capable student. Not only does she exemplify laser focus and deep understanding in her work, she influences those around her to push themselves to be their best selves, academically and otherwise. Our top psychology student from Miss Weaver's class is Avril Wilson. From our esports class, we have Mr. Cantrell's esports class. We're just going to say it the right way. Our student this year is Caleb Dyer. Caleb, if you would come up, please. Mr. Cantrell writes, this student dedicated himself, worked hard, and has accomplished great things in the past year since esports has begun at QI. He has helped defeat college teams such as Penn State. The team finished second nationally over the last 2 seasons and hasn't lost a single regular season match in a long time. The team ended the year as national champions last week. I am proud of all this student and his teammates being recognized in the junior class has accomplished in a short amount of time in his high school esports career. Ladies and gentlemen, Caleb Dyer. Now we're going to recognize our scholar athletes. So these students not only played sports, but they managed to keep their grades up. Some of them are going to be recognized for their varsity participation, and others will be recognized for their JV participation. So first we're going to start with our JV students. So when I call your name, if you will, please come up. Kaylin Croft, Andres Martinez, Cynthia Oldacre, Noah Perdue, Ansley Perkins, and Mark Tucker. Please come to the front. And the following students participated in varsity sports, so we'll also have them come up at this time, and that will be Mackenzie Donnelly, Mia Everett, Natalie France, Carly Jontry, Jocelyn Jurasek, Isabel Lotto, Colton Palmer, Javen Palmer, Mackenzie Thomas, Imari Walker, and Brianna Weber. These are your varsity. These are your varsity scholar athletes, so congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, once more for our sophomore scholar athletes. Let's give them a round of applause. And now we will turn to our junior class. And we will once again start with our top English language award, and this is coming from Mr. Belcher's class. He has 2 students to recognize, Colton Jenkins and Sheila Perez. Mr. Belcher writes, ACE English Language is a challenging course. Both of these students made it look easy. They have performed very highly, and Mr. Belcher speaks very highly of both of them. Ladies and gentlemen, Colton Jenkins and Sheila Perez. Our top math performance from Mr. Bose's class, Natalie Huerta. Mr. Bose writes, Natalie is one of the hardest working students I have taught. She never gives up, always goes the extra mile to make sure you understand, and she seeks help when she's lost. She exemplifies the traits of a mathematician. Natalie is also going to represent QI Roberts in Putnam County in the Girls State up in Tallahassee soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, an all-around talent, Natalie Huerta. Our top science award from Mr. Brown's marine biology course is Gracie Jordan. Mr. Brown writes, Gracie has been a pleasure to teach in marine science. She seems to have a genuine interest in the subject and asks questions to improve her depth of knowledge. Her answers are always very detail-oriented and well-supported with evidence. She has excelled at this level of academic rigor, and for that reason, Gracie Jordan is our top science award winner. Our top U.S. History Award from Mr. Weeks' class, Natalie Huerta. Mr. Weeks writes, it has been a great joy to have Natalie in my class the last couple of years. She has a natural interest in history and works hard to understand concepts. Natalie is naturally inquisitive and often leads interesting discussions in fifth period. I think Natalie is bound to accomplish great things in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, top social studies, Natalie Huerta. Our top aerospace award from Colonel Ski's class goes to Lance Dollar. And Colonel Ski writes, Lance is the top student in his Embry-Riddle dual enrollment aerospace course, thus receiving both high school and college credit for his outstanding work. Our top aerospace award and a drone that's not flying is Lance Dollar. For Colonel School's Pilot Ground School Certificate, we'd like to recognize Austin Bagley. Colonel Ski writes, Austin has passed the rigorous Federal Aviation Administration written test for his private pilot license. Upon completion of his flight lessons, he will be a fully licensed private pilot. And for that, he receives the Pilot Ground School Certificate, Class or Student of the Year, and that is Austin Bagley. The 11th grade teachers got together and chose a Knight Character Award recipient that just happens to be two people. And so at this time, we'd like to recognize Reagan and Riley Blackmer. They write, these students are dedicated to service and academic excellence. And I can tell you, they have been heavily involved in Interact, including holding some pretty high positions in their Interact club here at our school. And I can also tell you that they are pretty darn good podcast hosts. So if you haven't listened to our latest podcast, you should listen in because they are guest hosting at that time. And these are our Knight Character Award winners, Riley Blackmer and Reagan Blackmer. And our principal's award goes to that student who just kind of stands out for all the different ways. And this year, for our 11th grade class, it's going to go to Lance Dollar. So that's kind of an easy one. So I kind of took an easy road because Lance is an amazing student and a remarkable human being. But what kind of pushed it over the edge this year for me is that Lance has kind of come out of his shell. He is starting to participate more and more in different things and showing different sides of himself. And he's also just a walking billboard for the great things at QI Roberts. So, ladies and gentlemen, our Principal's Award is Lance Dollar. At this time, we need to recognize our AB Honor Roll students. There are quite a few, so please hold your applause. AB Honor Roll students include Riley Blackmer, Jasmine Clayberger, Allison Dennis, Caden Ferguson, Ryan Golnick, Wiley Hall, Jacob Hines, Natalie Huerta, Kaylee Meredith, Om Patel, Sheila Perez, Cullen Sloan, and Dylan Wilkes. Ladies and gentlemen, your AB Honor Roll students. And for the straight A honor roll, we have the following students: Reagan Blackmer, Lance Dollar, Kimaya Hall, Colton Jenkins, Noah Lotto, Luke Peffley, Matthew Snyder, and Leah Zabad. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all A honor roll students. Our top ACE Global Perspectives Award winners are, and we have 3 of them, Trenton Williams, Kaylee Meredith, and Noah Lotto. And now for an art award, Jasmine Clayberger, please come up. Really? Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. All right, Jasmine Clayberger for the Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Gonna Let You Down award. Ms. Davis writes, one thing that can be said about Jasmine is she isn't a quitter. Ladies and gentlemen, Jasmine Clayberger. Never gonna give, sorry. Our top PCSD Excel Awards. So this is a course that's about college preparation, life preparation. Miss Evans teaches it, and this award goes to Kimaya Hall. Miss Evans writes, there are so many things I could say about Kimaya. Apart from hardworking, she participates in class, she gets to class on time, she achieves high grades. Kimaya is respectful, she is determined, and she is what I call the ideal student. From Miss Evans' class, PCSD Excel, Kimaya Hall. From Miss Evans' travel and tourism class, Shayla Perez. Maybe she's traveling. Miss Evans writes, Sheila possesses all of the qualities of a great student. She is the epitome of organized, hardworking, thorough, and efficient. She is dedicated to the cause and works diligently to make sure things are done in excellence and on time. Ladies and gentlemen, Shayla Perez. From Miss Bose's AS level classical studies, we have 3 award winners, and they are Luke Peffley, Om Patel, and Ryan Golnick. So this is a class that I'm really excited that we offer. Classical studies not only studies history, but they also study the culture of the Greeks and Romans. And these students were outstanding all year. Miss Bose writes, these students, were excellent this year in studying the classics, and they put in a great deal of hard work. Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Peffley and Om Patel. Our A-level classical studies, which is kind of the next level beyond AS level, we have also 2 recipients, Matthew Snyder and Allison Dennis. Ms. Bose writes, these students have been such great students in classics for the last 2 years. Yeah, this is the 2nd level of classical studies, and if they choose to take it once more, we're just gonna have to make something up for them to do. But these students were great classical studies students, Matthew Snyder and Allison Dennis. So the following students were in classical and took the National Mythology exam, and they received medals. So I need the following students to come up. First, for summa cum laude, we have Matthew Snyder. He had the highest score in the entire class. For maxima cum laude, Reagan Blackmer and Natalie Huerta. And magnum cum laude, we had Allison Dennis and Caden Ferguson. Ms. Bowes writes, the National Mythology Exam, sponsored by the American Classical League, allows students worldwide the opportunity to demonstrate their enthusiasm and excellence in the field of Greco-Roman mythology and to be recognized accordingly for them, to encourage students pursuing the study of mythology, and to enable students to better understand the contemporary world through a richer knowledge of the ancient world. Ladies and gentlemen, our National Mythology Exam medal winners. Our top ACE psychology student is Scarlett Hersey. Scarlett is an engaged and inquisitive student of psychology, not content with just knowing what the what's, who's, and when's. Scarlett seeks to also understand the hows, the whys, and the what-ifs. Her questions and contributions push discussion further and encourage others to share their own thoughts and wanderings. Ladies and gentlemen, top ACE Psychology Award, Scarlett Hersey. Miss Dollar's top drama award winners go to Tristan Nuxall and Max Sapp. Miss Dollar writes, Tristan, I am so proud of the progress you have made this year. From putting on the Rotary skit at Kelly Smith to playing Archie in our recent production, it was phenomenal. You have gone above and beyond in your character roles. Thank you for always putting forth your best effort in making our productions fun. You are always willing to step in and help others when needed, and I greatly appreciate you. Max, I can always depend on you to go above and beyond what is needed for each character's role. You keep us all laughing with your quick wit, and your sense of humor. Thank you for always giving it your best no matter what the role is. You played an amazing, silly attorney in our last play and kept us all entertained. I can't wait to see what your next performance will be. Ladies and gentlemen, Tristan Nuxall and Max Sapp. Mr. Dew's top marching or symphonic band award goes to Christopher Murdico. Chris earned this award through 3 years of continuous improvement. He is a soft-spoken young man that lets his playing speak for itself. He takes constructive criticism and uses it to better himself musically. Chris has been a leader by example for all band students, but particularly the saxophone section. Our top marching symphonic band member is Christopher Murdico. Our top Animal Science 4 recipient from Miss Rogers' class is Caden Ferguson. Ms. Rogers writes, Caden has a very sweet and kind soul. She is always willing to jump into the task at hand and do whatever is asked of her. She is a true leader and dedicated to our FFA chapter. I am so proud of you, Caden, for all that you've done. Ladies and gentlemen, our top Animal Science 4 student, Caden Ferguson. Our top Artificial Intelligence Award, given by Mr. Cantrell, goes to Dylan Wilkes. Enthusiastic about artificial intelligence, but not as enthusiastic as literature. Dylan has a true passion and interest in the world of computer science, and it shows in how he approaches this class. He always wants to know the why behind everything in computer science. Dylan created a variety of programs in Python this year, but his Pokedex in the form of an AI chat box was an excellent piece of work. Dylan has a bright future in computer science if he continues with it going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, your top AI student, Dylan Wilkes. Our top esports awards go to Jacob Hines, Wiley Hall, and Nathan Bohannon. I'm also going to call Caleb Dyer to come to the stage as well. Mr. Cantrell writes, these three students, and one noted in the sophomore class, Caleb, who's coming up, dedicated themselves, worked hard, and have accomplished great things in the past year since eSport has begun at QI. They have defeated college teams such as Penn State. They have finished second nationally in 2 seasons. They haven't lost a singular regular season match this year. They also became national champions for the whole year last weekend. I am proud of all these 4 have accomplished in a short amount of time in high school esports. And ladies and gentlemen, this is your national championship winning esports team from QI Roberts.
So this night should not be all about us. We would really like to thank our coach for being with there, and we got him this special plaque that reads, May 13th, 2023 was the day the greatest HSEL rivalry ended with QIR winning 4-2 over Putnam, becoming the #1 in the nation. This couldn't have been done without our coach, Mr. C. We would like to give you this plaque.
You're good. And to go along with the trophies and the plaques and the different things, Mr. Cantrell is showing his students a replica of the check. Our students on the esports team, by winning the national championship, have earned $6,000 in scholarships. I don't know what else to say, guys. You kind of stole the show. So at this time, esports, go sit down. Oh, come back. There's more. There's more. I'm sorry, I was wrong. There's more. We have medals. Mr. Cantrell is going to give them out for winning their national title. And we have certificates. This reminds me of that last scene of Star Wars, kind of. Stoop. There you go. A little bit further. Once again, your national champion esports team. Okay, now y'all can sit down. At this time, I would like to welcome Renee Huff from our district office to come up and tell us a little bit about our CTE Superstar Award program.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, I'm here to recognize our CTE Superstars. Career and Technical Education Superstars was created 21 years ago to honor students who excel in career and technical education, or CTE programs. These students are nominated by their CTE instructors, who select them based on a variety of criteria. We usually honor these students at a separate ceremony. We were unable to have the ceremony this year, but we still wanted to honor these students. CTE has been a cornerstone of the American educational system, and in recent years has become a critical area of need in our country as our workforce ages and retires. Seminole Electric recognizes the role career and technical education plays in making our community, county, state, and nation the best possible place to live and work in. The students we honor tonight are examples of those qualities of hard work, dedication, a sense of responsibility for their future, and a willingness to compete for recognition and valuable assets when entering the workforce. Seminole Electric and Putnam County School District salute their efforts and encourage them to continue on in their commitment to excellence.
I'll take over. All right. So at this time, I would like our CTE superstar to come up, and that student from the 11th grade is Leah Zabad. Nominated by Mr. Cantrell for AP Computer Science, this student has taken on a challenge of learning about computer science and artificial intelligence in high school and has thrived. She passed the AP Computer Science Principles course with flying colors and achieved the highest score on an AP exam, which is a 5. She has learned 3 different programming languages in under 2 years. Furthermore, she has taken 2 of the hardest computer science courses we have to offer currently in the same year and has done an amazing job balancing all of the other activities, ACE courses, and extracurriculars she is involved in. I nominated this student, who is still only a junior, because she consistently overachieves and then some. Her dedication to excellence in all endeavors is something to be proud of. So not only is she receiving an award, but she's also receiving something from Seminole Electric, correct? Okay, yes, so she's getting a scholarship from Seminole Electric as well. Ladies and gentlemen, our CTE superstar, Leah Zabad. All right, our outstanding Cambridge Learner Certificates. And these students had to have high marks on their exams in 3 or more subjects during one exam session, and this is for our June 2022 exam season, so a year ago. We don't find out until like October exactly who all is going to receive this, but these students received this, and we'd like them all to come onto the stage. Riley Blackmer, Allison Dennis, Lance Dollar, Paul Harvey, Jacob Hines, Luke Peffley, Matthew Snyder, Max Thigpen, Dylan Wilkes, and Leah Zabad. Ladies and gentlemen, from your 11th grade class, the outstanding Cambridge Learner Certificate winners for this year. Congratulations. And at this time, we want to recognize our junior scholar athletes. So I'll call their names. They'll come up to the stage, and we'll recognize not only were they varsity athletes, but they maintained a pretty high GPA while doing so, and that's no easy feat. So the following students come up: Scott Bishop, Abby Collette, Lance Dollar, Hayden Edwards, DJ Holland, Noah Lotto, Cullen Sloan, Alexis Strickland, Dylan Wilkes, and Trenton Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, our scholar athletes, and I just want to shout out one of our scholar athletes that was just named the district player, or excuse me, the Putnam County Basketball Player of the Year, and that is Trenton Williams. So congratulations to our scholar athletes. And Lance, well, see, Lance is part of the track team, so he's quick. And we have one more special recognition to bring to the stage, and that's going to be Wiley Hall. So not only was Wiley Hall a member of the esports team, he was also being recognized by Mr. Cantrell as a top computer science student, and that's where his medal is. And we also just wanted to recognize that he has been selected as one of the top 6 players in the country, and he's already gotten a $1,000 scholarship for being one of the top 6, and we will find out soon if they name him MVP, as they should. Ladies and gentlemen, Wiley Hall. Well, let it fall now, Wiley. Don't drop your thing now. Okay, buddy. So in closing, let me assure parents, let me assure you that first off, I want to speak to the sophomore class and what they've accomplished this year. We did throw them into English language this year with the hope that they'll be able to get through that course successfully, take literature next year, which is typically a senior course, and then take A-level literature their senior year. So we're really looking forward to that. I know it's going to be successful. Because recently we posted extremely high state scores on the tests that they took as 10th graders. And I am sure that their writing exams are going to come back very high when they come back in August. This 10th grade group, like I said, they just kind of blended in with the juniors and did a great job in class. Mr. Belcher speaks very highly with the job that they did in their language. But also, I want to speak to the junior class. Each year, I tell the juniors, if you would like to set up your schedule next year, I would advise you to come sit with me and let's talk about where you want to go, what you want to do. Let's make sure that everything lines up to where when you send your college application off, it looks exactly how we want it to look so that you get in where you want to go. Last summer, I met with 4 students. I'll get on to the seniors later. This year, we're not even in summer, and I've already met with 12 of our juniors who are excited about their senior year. They're excited about going to ambitious schools. They're excited about what they will study in college, and they want to make sure that everything's lined up. So congratulations to our sophomore and junior class for being exceptional in so many ways. I want to thank all you family members. I want to welcome you to stay for our senior awards. It's really neat to see the amazing things that our seniors have accomplished. But at this time, this concludes our sophomore and junior portion of the ceremony, and I hope you have a great evening and a great end of your year.